What's up? Queen of Reef here. In today's video, we are setting up a quarantine tank. As you guys know, I am getting the water box 220 like really soon, actually. So I really need to get a quarantine tank up and running. We're going to have so many beautiful fish with this build. It's probably the reason I am the most excited about this whole getting a bigger tank process because, you know, in the 40 gallon that I've had up to this point, it's the biggest tank I've owned. And in terms of stocking fish, what fish I could add, I was pretty limited. It's just pretty much been Goby, you know, Goby, OG Goby, and, you know, the two clowns. So I've been kind of slacking and popping and dropping, I'm gonna admit. But now with this tank, especially being of its size, and with the amount of fish that I'm going to be adding to it, we definitely need to get this quarantine situation sorted. We need to get a quarantine up and running today. So that's exactly what we're gonna do, my dear reefers. I'm gonna go through all of the equipment, all of the process. We're gonna do this together because it's so easy to set up a quarantine tank. It's actually, you know, it's crazy. Let's get started. And on setting this bad boy up, it's a little office. We don't really use the space. It's gonna be like a mini little aquarium quarantine room. I'm gonna actually turn the BioCube. There's a BioCube back there. There's a little BioCube. That was actually my first tank. I'm gonna end up turning that into a coral quarantine.
Oh yeah, baby.
Coral quarantine. We're going in strong. Okay, no pests in this tank, right? Okay, we're getting serious. But I figured this is gonna be like a really great, like multi-purpose aquarium room. So this is the perfect space. However, I actually have my first ever aquarium chilling here. So I definitely have to remove this first before we get started. Lift with the legs. Yeah. So despite all odds, I actually managed to move that thing. Okay, that thing still had water in it. I'm super proud. Getting those glutes, one fish tank at a time. This one shouldn't be as hard to lift, right? Bam. Okay. Bam. I did it. The squats work. The main component of your quarantine tank, y'all, starts with the tank, right? So I went with this Aqueon. I definitely want to like clean the inside of it. Oh, what is this? Fish flakes. They even have tropical flakes. Thank you, Aqueon. I'm gonna have to wipe it down. We'll wipe it down. Let me talk about the equipment first. Get off. So before we actually set up this quarantine tank, I'm just gonna quickly go over all of the equipment I picked up. It's really nothing fancy, and a lot of these brands, it's really insignificant. We can exchange brands for brands as long as this thing is running, okay? So as I said, 20 to 29 gallon is perfect for quarantining bigger size fish that need some room to swim. However, you know, 10 plus works just fine for anything smaller. Other than your tank, which is the most important piece of equipment to a quarantine tank, we need to pick up some sort of filters. I picked up a Fluval Aquaclear. I picked up a Fluval Aquaclear. The Fluval will work just fine. Any kind of power filter works, hang in the back filter. Really, you just gotta keep this thing running. You need to pick up a heater that is suitable for the gallonage of your tank, right? I picked up this little Aqueon 150 watt. Next thing I picked up is a little air pump, this Whisper air pump for a lot of these treatments that you're adding to cure the fish of various parasites and, you know, diseases, ugly stuff. They require a little bit of additional oxygen. So, you know, the air pump is going to add that oxygen to the tank and make sure that everything is nice and we have healthy, happy quarantine fish. And of course, other miscellaneous equipment for the air pumping, Airline tubing, and a little bubbling air stone. Next, I got a little digital thermometer. Now, I already have one of these for my current tank, but you know, obviously it's a quarantine tank. You don't really want to mix things, including like test kits and nets and whatnot. So I picked up a little thermometer in addition. Now, thermometers are really important quarantine stage because, you know, fish are going to really be susceptible to changes in temperature. Definitely want to grab one of these guys because it's just a really easy way to keep track. I like to stick it on the front of my tank so I can always see it nice and bright so you know what's going on. Then next we have this alert combo. Okay, basically this alert combo is just like an ammonia alert and pH alert. But really, I'm most interested in the ammonia alert. I could not find the individual package when I went to the store, but this ammonia alert is perhaps the most important part of everything I picked up for this quarantine tank. Why, you ask? Well, ammonia burns the gills of fish. It burns the gills of fish. No. We don't want our fish burning, no. So sticking this on your tank is is really great because, you know, it alerts you 24/7 whether there is ammonia, you know, in your tank. And you gotta know, because if you're in the circumstance that the ammonia level is high, you know, you got 2 big fish in this small tank, ammonia starts rising, you gotta act quick. You gotta know, you know, I need to change this water. I need to figure something out because these fish, their gills are burning, and we don't want that. We don't want unhappy fish. So definitely this alert combo is super, super, super important. Gotta stay on top of the rising levels of ammonia. And in terms of keeping my water quality in check, I got this little brick. I got a brick. Bio brick. I got me a bio brick. Now, this is really cool. So I'm going to use this in the quarantine because it's gonna add, you know, a large surface area of beneficial bacteria. It's basically this little brick sponge that hangs on to all that good bacteria, and, you know, make sure that your water quality is good and keeps all that things stable. It's like the easiest way that you can kind of manage this, especially in a quarantine. It's really cool. I'm gonna end up showing you in a second what it actually looks like. You gotta see it to believe it. Next, I got these standard accessories. I got me a fishnet, a pretty big fishnet, because, you know, I like to get them all in one scoop. Those fish are quick. The reason I got a separate one and not the one I use in my main display is because you definitely want to keep all the equipment for your quarantine tank and your main display tank completely separate, because you're going to be adding all sorts of treatments, hopefully not, but you're probably going to, you know, have to treat these fish, you know, adding stuff like the copper and whatnot. It's just bad. I mean, it kills stuff in your main display. It kills coral. You know, you can't have that. Solo, separate for the QT. And next I have a little baby Powerhead, just a little baby one, nothing big, because obviously you want to get the Powerhead that is suitable for your aquarium size of choice for your quarantine tank. This is just a little guy. He's sufficient. You just want to have a little bit of flow, a little bit of movement for these fish. You know, they need a bit of natural environment. They need some flow. Next, I picked up, boom! I picked up a hinged glass top, y'all. Now, the reason why I picked up a hinged glass top is gonna make more sense when I show the light I picked, but basically it needs a top. You don't want no jumping fish. Glass top, because you wanna be able to observe your fishies from every which angle, okay? QT is serving as a watchful eye, right? You're looking at these fish for weeks, and you're trying to determine whether they're gonna make the cut. Healthy fish to your main display, right? So you've gotta look at them from all which side, left, right, upside down, up, well, not upside down. No, that's when you fail. I also picked up this little aquarium lamp, day white. Now, it's just, what this thing is just gonna literally just sit on top of this, on that glass top. It's not gonna be pretty. It's not supposed to be pretty. That's not the point. Now, in terms of lighting your quarantine tank, fish don't really have preferences on, you know, how much you spend on a light. So really anything that lights it up works. However, I do want to say, don't get the blues. Don't get the blues, because you're not looking at the fish for pleasure. You're looking at the fish for science. You're looking at the fish to know what is wrong with them. So definitely, if you look at them under white light, like this guy, you're gonna be able to spot things more clearly. You're gonna be able to keep track of stuff, what was cheapest and available to me. So next, I got PVC pipes. I got various PVC pipes. I probably got too many, honestly, for this little thing. But these PVC pipes are basically just fun for the fish. I mean, literally just hiding spots for the fish. Make them feel more comfortable. Give them a little, like, you know, if they want alone time, they can have their alone time, right? I mean, but the reason why I got so many is because I wanted to play around with sizes. I mean, I got these little small guys for baby fish, and then medium guys for medium fish, and then, you know, bigger fish right here, and then bad boy fish right here. So I got a wide selection here. I hope the fish look forward to it. Yeah, as long as they're PVC pipe plastic, you want to make sure they don't have like many rough edges, just kind of as smooth as you can get them, and fun. The fish will have privacy. They'll love it. And lastly, I got a little, you know, I have a little cleaner magnet here. I've never used it before. I'm going to use this cleaner magnet just to clean the glass when it gets dirty, because you got to make sure that you keep a good eye on those fish. You can't look at the fish clearly when it's dirty glass, no good. So now let's actually set this guy up. I've already cleaned him out a little bit to get rid of any dust and whatnot with, you know, RDI water and some vinegar. So I guess now I'm going to add the Fluval Aquaclear. Okay, I've already set this guy up for the most part. If you can see this guy right here, it's like a little media basket. It's like a little baby media basket. This is where I'm gonna put like any kind of filters, media, you know, whatnot. Here you have the little return. Goes into the tank just like that. It's pretty easy, pretty simple. It's nice and snug right here, just like that. Easy. First thing, add some PVC pipe. Man, I am so short though. I like need a ladder for all my tanks. Pop these in. Now look at that fish loft. Can you even, I'd be happy. So next, add the pump, air pump. So next, I am going to install my little air pump. I have this little air stone here, this little air stone, you can see. This little air stone is what's gonna actually sit inside my tank. Right here, right back there. I don't think you can see. Down here at the bottom of this aquarium, I am going to place the air pump here on the floor. You know, if I were to ever unplug this guy, the water from the tank would come down, siphon itself down, and cause one heck of a fire and, you know, one heck of an unhappy Stephanie. Gonna talk about a few of the accessories that I picked up in order to help prevent this problem. I got a little check valve here, a little check valve. This little check valve is what's going to prevent that water from returning down that hose and starting an electrical fire, which we don't want. Also, this little component that was included with the air pump right here. This little component is what's going to help control the amount of airflow that's coming back into the aquarium. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this wad of Airline tubing and make sure that I cut it into 2 sections. One for the check valve and one for the airflow control. First, I'm going to make a little incision for the air control thingy-mabobber. I want to place it just at a place that's most convenient for me, so I guess it would be up here. I am going to make an incision. I'm just gonna cut. So I just cut this Airline tubing. I'm going to attach it to the part that is sticking in my tank, and I'm gonna take the other part of the Airline tubing that I just cut off, and I'm gonna put it on the other side, like so. Okay, and this is just how I'm gonna be able to control the airflow going in. Next, I'm just gonna do the same thing, but I am going to do it with our little check valve here. Now we're just gonna do the same thing and we're just gonna cut it. We want it nice and up high. So now that we've cut it, we're just going to attach our little safety valve here. Quick way to identify whether way you're putting it on is by, you know, little blow test. So if you could blow through it, this part is for the pump, right? And if you can't blow on it, that is where you want it to align with the tubing from your tank. And then we just attach the end of it. Ta-da! We have our beautiful safety valve. So next, I'm going to add my little 150 watt heater I have here. Make sure he is below where the water line, where I planned the water line to be. Added my tank glass. Look, it's so sleek you can't even see it's on there. But going to definitely help with the evaporation of the water and make sure to help with keeping that salinity in check. Now I'm just gonna add my Powerhead. I don't really like that I got a suction cup one, but you know, it's a quarantine tank. It's no big deal. Just gonna add this guy over. This suction cup sucks. Okay, we can just let it free dangle for now. So now we're actually almost done with our quarantine tank. Believe it or not, I told you guys it's really easy to set up these things. It's awesome. We're just going to attach our little thermometer. Bam, nice front and center so I can keep tabs on it really easily. Front and center. Just about to add on my beautiful light as the finishing touch to this little quarantine tank. But unfortunately, I realized that this thing isn't a solo light like I anticipated. You actually have to plug this bad boy into something, and that something is something that I do not have. So I am going to have to resume this video tomorrow and show you guys what it looks like. So I managed to finally install a new light, a little cheap number I found on Amazon. You know, funny enough, it actually turned out to be blue. So even though it's blue though, it should work just fine. I've included links to all of the products that I mentioned in this video in the description below. So if you're looking to set up a QT tank for yourself, definitely go check that out. You know, the tank is finally set up and ready to go now. We have the air stone, it's doing its thing, and the BioBrick is ready to sponge up some beneficial bacteria. I even labeled all of the little cords and equipment too. How cute is that? And I also added some filter floss media from my display tank into the Fluval media basket, so it should get cycling here soon. Hopefully my future fishies will love it. And that's all, folks. See, I told you guys setting up a quarantine tank is super duper easy. Now, what fish do you think I should add in the new Waterbox 220 in the future? Let me know in the comments below. Vincent says that he's never seen a tank that looks as bad as mine, and if he had them issues, he would just quit. And honestly, this is my favorite comment of all time. Vincent, this hobby can be super frustrating, but you just have to take everything that happens as a learning lesson on how to prevent it from happening next time. And you know what? I'll try better, Seahorse Wrangler, I promise. Like, you know, making a video about how to set up a quarantine tank.
Fully loaded.
And do you know how how quickly the tank police would come for me if I put a copper band in my 40-gallon? Don't get me in trouble now. However, I did listen to your advice and I'm trying out Vibrant for the bubble algae now though, and you know what? After one dose, I already see some improvement. So hopefully this is my saving grace. You know, one like on this video equals one prayer, so help a girl out here.